Hi everybody, welcome to our English 112 course site. What I would like to do is just take a few minutes to walk you through the basics of Educator and where you'll need to go to find various sorts of information and resources in the course. I try to keep it as simple as possible, so if you follow just a few simple steps you should be fine, but of course, as I remind you again and again throughout the course, if you ever feel stuck, email me, post something to the help forum, I'll show you that in just a second, or drop by my office or give me a call. I am here to help you, and I cannot emphasize enough how important it is in an online class if you feel at all confused or lost that you take advantage of that help. So, a quick tour of our Educator course site. Here you are. When you log in, this is the first page you'll see, as you know, because you've logged in and you've seen this page. This is our announcements page. Each week, by Sunday, I will post a new announcement for you, typically Saturday or Sunday. Uh, I will send you a note to your Delta webmail whenever I've posted that announcement, so be sure to be checking that regularly. And I may sometimes post midweek announcements to update you, change things, make corrections, whatnot. So from the announcements page, early this week, this very first week of class, I want you to come over here, click on course information, and then click on view syllabus, and that will take you to the course syllabus. This is a PDF file, and so if you can't see it, you may need to download Adobe Acrobat Reader. Just do a Google search on that, and it's a free application. Your computer probably has it. Most computers have it automatically. Or if you were not able to view this, you might have been prompted to download it already. Read this carefully. It's a very long document. I apologize for that. There is some additional language the English division has asked us to add in here, which makes it even longer. But take your time. This is important, especially there are some very important tips in there on succeeding in online classes. These are not the same as face-to-face classes, so you want to make sure you pay careful attention to that. Every week, I will give you the week's work in a task sheet. Now, the task sheets and most of the other resources that we'll be accessing for this course you'll find in course documents. So if you click on the course documents button, the very first thing you will see is the Unit 1 packet or whatever current unit we're working on. These packets are where I will be storing the resources you need for the course. And so we'll take a glimpse at this in just a second, but the first thing you should always do when you see the new week's announcement open is come down and click on Task Sheets. The task sheet is an outline of the work due for that week. So if you click on Week 1 Tasks, you will see here the title, which tells us what you need to be doing, the time period, and then a description of the task itself, including links out to resources either outside the course or inside the course that you might find useful. Okay, time period here, you've actually got specific due dates, which is typically what you'll see. Whenever possible, I will actually link to materials you need inside the task sheets. This is the key to the course. These tell you specifically what you need to be doing each week. Each week I'll open up the following week's task sheet for you, and I will always leave the previous week's tasks open for you. Now, back to this packet. The packets are also extremely useful. For one thing, if you click on the packet, the very first thing you'll see is an overview of the current unit, which will include an overview of deadlines. Now, these may change, and if they do, I will give you an update in the announcements, but I do try to stick to these as closely as possible. Any additional files you need as we work will be added to this packet. For this very first week, the only file in here is the overview of our first unit. The first writing exercise we'll be doing, which will be creating a blog and using that as a venue for exploring a subject. And more on that, of course, in the materials as you read through them. Each week I will add any additional resources you might need into this packet. So, for example, when we do peer editing at the end of most of our assignments, you will see a resource in here for that. If there's a worksheet to be completed, an exam to be completed, a quiz to be completed, all of those things I will plug into this packet. So those are the two things you want to be able to find in course documents. The packets and then the task sheets. If you are in my Second Life section, section 850, you will also see a packet here which contains Second Life tutorials. Finally, in a couple of weeks, actually in a couple of weeks, at the end of this week, I will open a new packet in here which will have all of the course announcements, and I'll let you know when all that becomes available. So, packets, remember, is where I'll give you the documents and resources you need for completing the tasks in the course. The task sheet, however, is where each week's work will be outlined. Finally, another area of the course that you will have to visit on a regular basis will be the communication area. So if you click on the communication button, the first thing it's going to show you is this email screen. We do not use the educator email. Anything I send from here or that you send from here will automatically get routed to Delta Webmail. So ignore this. Coming over here and clicking on discussion board. This is something you will do every single week. The discussion boards are really the heart of this course. This is where we have the chance to actually talk to each other. This is what makes this more than just logging on and reading a bunch of stuff. This first week's work you'll find in the week 1 discussion, introductions. If you click on there, you will see my introduction. Back in the task sheet I just showed you, you will see instructions for how to complete this. Now, here is something that I advise you to do with the introductions. You notice here you have an option for message viewing. It says linear. I strongly recommend you choose threaded for this, and I make that my default viewing all the time. That will bring up this screen. First of all, it's easy to maneuver because up here in the upper left-hand corner, you will see all of your options. So, for example, later on when we start exchanging essays, you see group files, which is where you plug those things in. A button for new messages, which you'll need to use when you want to post your own introduction. Group chat, which could be useful when we do our small group exercises later on. The reason I like the threaded view is if you reply to my introduction, and you're welcome to do that if you want to say hi or ask any questions about me, it will show the reply as an indented message. It'll be in 5 spaces from the original message, which just means it's easy to see what posts are responding to what posts. Linear fashion will list all the posts chronologically, and it's hard to see who's talking to whom. So unclear now. Once we get into our first conversation, you'll see. So I suggest you click on View as Threaded. And that is it. That is a quick overview of our educator site. As always, come to me if you're stuck, and there may be more to follow if we begin exploring different parts of the site later on.